So what's up, skate fam? Today we sitting down with my big bro, a legend in the Milwaukee skate community. We got my guy Angelo here, aka Elo, aka Mr. Smooth Cool himself, aka Mr. Miltown Rollers. What's going on with you, bro?
Man, chilling, man. Blessed to be here, bro.
I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us today. So first off, give us a little bit of background about yourself as far as skating go. You know, when did you start, where you started, what influenced you to start, things like that.
Okay, the birth of, I think I was like 7. I'm a vampire at heart, so y'all just, I stopped aging a long time ago, 25. But I started skating at 7. I'm now 35, so needless to say, I've been skating for quite some time now, going 28, 30 years, whatever the case. If you want to do the math, it's fine. Originally, the reason why I started skating was because of the environment that I was in. As you guys know, it may be the hood or poverty or wherever you guys are brought up at, but where I was at was the slums. It wasn't a quote unquote nice area, and so what happened is over the time there was limited things to do. So I started to venture out and do different adventures, a skateboard and rollerblade and things in that nature. I think I was about 7 or 8 when I was introduced to the skating rink. I was introduced there with rollerblades and wanted to be like, the black American version of Tony Hawk. But once I got to the rink, it was something totally different. It was more so with music. It wasn't about tricks. It was just about finding the beat with music. So I instantly fell in love with that because it was my outsource of what I was surrounded by, an area where I was birthed at. So I was about 7 when I started skating. I'm 35 now. So.
Okay. So how long did it take you before you realized you were getting good at skating?
Man, let's see. Man. Okay, so I started 7. I didn't really start to get fully into the craft of what's what. Like, I went from how people go, like now we meet people like yourself to skate, and you go from like A to Z like that. People actually skip the numeric numbers or whatever the case may be, alphabets. But it was like me going from A literally to every alphabet because I started so young. I started as a jam skater, you know what I'm saying? So it was just all these weird things. So I think my craft, when I started to really get into it, I was about probably 15. Once I started to identify my skate balance, my swag, who I was as a skater, where I wanted to go with it, I think I was about 21. So all the other years that I was skating, I just was rolling. So that's how you can kind of differentiate the difference between skating and rolling. So I just was rolling that whole time, learning the ins and outs. But I think I started at 15 is when I started to develop of when I was pretty good at 15.
All right. So to skip forward a couple years, you went from where you started to being pretty good, and then the Miltown Rollers. How did the Miltown Rollers come about?
Man, MTR, dang man, that's history right there, right? I see it, gang, we out here. Hey. Where did we start? It was me, Angelo, Goudy. That's me, myself. Tamika was our first lady. Is our first lady. I don't say is because she's currently still a Miltown roller. Mano and Cody. Then we're the 4 trio of us that started. What happened was we actually started at Butler Skateland. All right, and so from Butler Skateland we started going to Cedarburg Skateland. And so as us always skating together with each other on Saturday nights and Sunday nights for the teens, we was always together. So what happened was I met Mano. I didn't like Mano when I first met him. He was a light-skinned guy or whatever. He was into his music or whatever. But I met him at Butler on Thursday night, and we just instantly clicked. And when we clicked, me and Cody was already cool, so I brought him in the circle, and then we met Mika. And so we just started skating, and then we started to travel with it. It's crazy. The first city that we shut down as Miltown Rollers was Star Skating Rink, actually, where everybody skated at too, outside of Butler.
It wasn't called Star back then, was it?
It was Racing. I don't remember the name of it though. But it was the same rink though.
Right.
We went up there and we were skating up there, and our style was so different. So when people seen us, they were like, "What the hell? What team is this?" And that's when we created our first Miltown roller jacket, shirt, which was the MTR red shirt. And from there, we got branded for the Butler Skate Boys, and from there we just took it and ran with it. And then Incredible, Chicago, Atlanta, St. Louis, and it's history from there.
So, not just the original four, but the group as a whole, because we know it grew, more people was added. How many of y'all still skate?
17 right now. Yep, 17. Some of our members have expanded and went to Texas and North Carolina. They're still a part of the family. They just got their thing going over there. I don't know as far as recruiting wise, they're not doing any recruiting. We just got chapters in different places. But actively right now, still 17 of us, which y'all see us all at the rink on Sunday nights and stuff like that. So we're one of the longest skating teams that actually exists here in Milwaukee as well, because you got a lot of different people that come and go. And
my group might be one of them.
We still around. It's a family. It's more than just skating. It's a family.
Right.
We hit the road together, travel together, have kickbacks together. It's a family at this point. So yeah.
Speaking of traveling, how many events did y'all go to? And I know I know y'all did a lot of traveling, but I know also that y'all went to some events and won competitions and stuff like that. So I want to brush on those as well.
Yeah, for sure. Man, events-wise, I could just name a couple cities. Some cities was Atlanta. Our first trip was North Carolina. Me and Mano first trip. Shout out to Cheeks. Was North Carolina. After North Carolina, went to Atlanta, St. Louis, Detroit, Ohio, Philly, New York, LA, Chicago, of course. The trip that solidified us as a team, me and Mano, as Miltown Rollers, is the Atlanta trip. We actually was forced to go into a skate competition in Atlanta, and it was at Cascade, and everybody was there from St. Louis, Chicago. Everybody was there, and me and Mano wind up taking home the trophy, beating out the other cities and stuff like that. That's what solidified us as who we were and with the work that we were putting in. So that was the first national competition we won here for the city.
But y'all going to Atlanta, I heard y'all was putting together the routines at the hotel before the event.
Yeah, it was crazy. We got a call from D Nice. Shout out to D Nice. He's at if I'm not mistaken, St. Louis.
Yeah, dark skin
Nice.
dude.
Yeah, you know Nice.
Yeah.
So shout out for Nice, and it was somebody else. It was Lavelle. He once he was a pallet skater here, which he moved to Atlanta, and so shout out to them too, because they called me and Mano like, "Yo, we put y'all in the competition." We like, "What?" Like, "No, we good." Like they said, "No, y'all the up and coming. Y'all need to show what y'all got." So we like, "Come on, man." So we literally had 45 minutes before the skate competition, and we got the call. So me and Mano went in the room. This what makes us so dope as a couple in reference to skating. We was in the room, literally no skates on.
Right.
In a hotel room, and made up the routine of what we were going to do in the competition on our feet.
That is incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if I could pull something like that off.
I mean, it just was. But me and him, we also danced together and stuff too. So it's so like no matter. I can go years or months not skating with Mano, and I can go up to him and like, "Hey, let's do this," and we'll do it, and we'll make up a routine in 20 seconds because of the history. Yeah.
So with the traveling to all the different places, was there a pushback from the skaters in that community?
Yes and no. Yeah, because it was like it was a new wave. Like as you know, as a skater, every different city has their own skating style.
Right.
You know, Chicago got JB, Detroit got the slide, Huntsville got the shake. Everybody got their own skating style, okay? But the unique thing about Milwaukee, Wisconsin, we don't have nobody's style. We're universal.
Right.
So we don't just focus on one area, or we didn't at the time of when me and Mano was, moving around and grooving. We focused on everything. When we seen what Chicago was doing, we was like, "Oh, we'll take some of that." And then we seen what Jersey was doing. "Oh, we'll take that St. Louis bounce. Oh, we'll take that." So we took everything and orchestrated. So Only I could say our biggest pushback that we had was probably from Chicago because our rivals,
Right.
and for a long time that relationship was never solid with Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? So that was our biggest pushback. But after the fighting us going there constantly, they got, of course, familiar with our face, and then they made acceptance of, only Angelo and Mano accepted here. And then, of course, as we get to know them and stuff like that, we kind of broke down that barrier. So that's kind of some little history for people that's from Milwaukee that's going over to Chicago now, because we wasn't always welcome there like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We was like some people like, they trying to. In Chicago, if they don't fool with you, they not gonna show you. You should know they not gonna show you nothing. They gonna look at you like, oh, okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So building that rapport and that relationship. So that was probably the only city that like pushed us. Like took us a while to kind of get in there. Outside of that, everybody else really open arm. We like, yeah, well, we heard about y'all. What's up?
Right.
So it was pretty cool.
Battles everywhere.
Yeah. After we did the Atlanta battle, then people start to know who we were. We continued to go on trips and stuff like that. We'll jump in the middle. Mano would jump in the middle. It just was like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So everybody be like, oh, them the dudes from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Them the dudes from Milwaukee. And people skate in Milwaukee? So it was just like, what? What's happening? Like, so that's how we was. We was always defending the chrome. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of battles. You know what I'm saying? A lot of middle battles, because that's what we went down at. So
I feel it. How does it feel to be watching like the skaters nowadays do some of the routines and stuff that y'all came up with 10 and 20 years ago?
It's crazy. It feels good, but at the same time, it's just like, man, to a lot of new people, that's new to them, but we have seen it like so many times.
Right.
To the points where it's just like we sit back like, yeah, it's new to you guys, but we already did this. We've been there, done that. And it's cool to do it. So to see us being part of that movement, part of the creation of it, is pretty dope, because we sit back like, damn, we created that. And sometimes we sit back and see people doing moves and like they don't even know that they got that from the originators of us. You know what I'm saying? But it feels good knowing that you're part of that movement and that creative thinking of what they're doing now. So it's a good feeling. It lets us know that we done what we were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
So did y'all create a lot of moves? Like y'all was the first person to ever do that move?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. One of the famous moves of what the whole skate community is doing now, and shout out to my boy Josh in Chicago, because he's one of the dudes that kept it 100 over there in reference to where they got this move from. It was the skate off move, where when we was doing our competition in Atlanta, that's how we won the competition. We was the first one to ever do that. We were the city that skate with their skates loose.
Right.
And people still skate like that to today. So that means that while we were skating and we were rolling, we did a routine. We put our left foot behind the right foot and then took the skate off and kicked it. And then went around and we put it back on as we were rolling. Everything happened in full motion. And so that's what won us the competition. So when we displayed that move, when we did it in Chicago and in Atlanta, Josh was like, whoa. And Josh and us, we were like this. Jeremy, shout out to Jeremy as well. JBX, all them people. Swab, all them people over in Chicago. Randy, Tito, all y'all. But when Mano showed Josh that move, Josh was like, yo, like, come here. Like, you got to, I need all parts in that. And so that was the movement of what we started with the skate off thing. And of course, people would take it, manifest it to their own, and be amazing with it. And that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? So the original person over there in Chicago that started over there in Chicago was Josh and Tito, mainly Josh. He perfected it and he mastered it. Now you can see him take his skate off and go around the whole rink and come back to him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what it's about. It's about the growth. So that's one of the moves that we most definitely stamped and created here. Even the kickoff skate, when you're in the middle of crazy leg and you kick your skate off and it go in the air and you catch it with your feet.
Right.
That's the move Mano created. So it's things like that when we sit down, we're like, yo, it's a lot of moves that people do that don't know where the creator is from. But
well, they don't know now.
Yeah, for sure. So, shout out to Cheeks, Mano, Mr. Magnificent, that's what I call him, because he come up with some wicked stuff. I just take it and put the smoothness on it, That's
right.
what it is.
So how you feel about the current state of the Milwaukee skate scene?
Oh man, I feel it. I love the movement. I love the energy. Only thing that I would say about the current movement, like as of speaking today, they need to stick to what we started with, the originality, and that's where it's cool to go somewhere and get moves from somewhere, but when you bring it back home, you need to create and manifest it into you. You can't come back and do the exact same thing that you seen over here and specify as if you created that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's the only thing I would say about today's. But I see a lot of people that's hungry, and that's dope. And from me DJing a lot now, I can see things that people don't see because I'm in a higher up booth. So it's a lot of hungry people here in Milwaukee that's willing to learn. You even see more women getting down and doing things that we never seen before. I'm like, okay, that's what's up. So the hunger is most definitely here now.
Right.
But I only thing, if I was to give advice to people, me being the mid G, I would tell them to have more creativity of originality if they're gonna take a move from anywhere. You have to manifest it into your own.
Another thing, the reason I asked that last question is because now we seeing a resurgence again of skating. You know, skating
Yes.
happened in waves,
Yes.
and it went down for a while. And a lot of our skaters was going to Racine and Chicago and other places, but now the rink is picking back up, and it's mainly because the music picking back up, the energy picking back
Right,
up in the
for sure.
building.
For sure.
So you got to give big credit to the DJ. So shout out to you and DJ J Mills
Yes,
for
sir.
turning Butler back up again
Yes,
on the
sir.
dope nights,
Yes, sir.
making everybody want to come out. So that's another reason I was asking that question, because you are part of the skate scene now, having that resurgence on a Milwaukee level.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I appreciate that, Skate Fam. And most definitely, we was there through the whole transition of when people converted and went elsewhere, and we died on the scene. In reference to, we had about 10 people in the rink, as you seen. You was there to witness that type of stuff.
Right.
And at the time of me not DJing, it was sad. Even myself faded away. You know what I'm saying? It just was like, yo, it's dead here. It was dry. And a lot of people, even not here, only just here in Milwaukee, the OGs that I watched in Chicago, they faded away. You know what I'm saying? So it just was that. I think every city have that
The
dry
ebbs and
spell that
flows.
people,
Yeah.
I'm tired, let me take a break, or a hiatus or something like that. But when I decided to come back on the scene, I came back on the scene in a different mentality. With a different mentality was to get the skate fan back, and I came back as the DJ instead of the MTR skater. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because before I can have any other cities see what we do, we got to get our city back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we was all scattered. So when I came back DJing and stepped back in the booth, I was like, what else? Who else can I put on my side that I can trust that, hey, I can't do this by myself? Um, and I know Mano, he's not a DJ person. He's a skater. And so we had an up and coming person, which if people know the history of Miltown Rollers, y'all know the history of Jamel as well.
Shout out J Mills.
J Mills, now known DJ J Mills. Jamel, that was my little protege. Like, he came in and he was hungry, and so he started rolling with us. I was showing him things, his swag. He developed his swag, his style, and we just started eating together, skating together and stuff like that. And so after we started skating together, we started traveling together. And then after we started traveling together, we started riding
On the
motorcycles
bikes.
together.
I knew it
So
was
you went
coming.
from skating to motorcycles to different states and everything that had to do with wheels, cars. We was together. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that because my partner that I normally skated with, Mano, as you grow in the skating world, you start to. I'm more so going on the wall now, less in the middle now. He more in the
Right.
middle, and so it's like you start to.
Because Mano live in that
Yeah,
middle
he
now.
live
He
in the
be
middle.
going crazy.
And then my boy D-Mac, he was going through his health problems, so it just was like, Jamel came at a perfect time, so we latched in, and Jamel got to bite the skate bug, and he just started traveling more. So when I faded back a little bit, he got hungry, so he went out to Chicago, started eating with Chicago, went out to Detroit. Same way of how I did it, he did it. And so when I came back full circle, we like, yo, it's time. And so we started traveling together, and we just started, people got familiar with us. We threw our first skate party here, which was a success. Once.
Speaking of, how was that skate party?
Oh man, it was dope. It was dope. It's called AJ Production, Angelo and Jamel Production. And so what we were doing with that is we just was growing it because there was other parties like the Midwest All Stars parties before ours, and it just wasn't done right. And so we said, you know what, man, we know all these people. We've been traveling. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? And we did it, and it was a success. We had our run for about 3 years, and then he came to me like he wanted to start DJing. And I said, bet. And so he started DJing. Shout out to DJ Bam. That was his mentor.
Shout out to Bam.
Bam, welcome back, by the way, too.
Right.
He taught Jamel a lot. And then me at the time, I was DJing with CDs. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I started, So Jamel came in the game with the computers and stuff. And so when they came with computers, it just was like, okay, Lo, we got computers, you got CDs. Let me teach you how to do this. And so now it's a teaching moment for me learning from Mills. And so long story short, as you can see the story, we always piggyback off each other. So when I had an opportunity to get him in Butler to DJ with me, I'm like, hell yeah, I know somebody, let's go. And when he came in, that's when right before he came in, that's when he actually was in the Fox 6 News thing aired.
Right.
And once that aired, it was just everything was history in the making. And he got in the booth. Burnt that motherfucker up. I don't know if I can say that, but you know what I'm saying? And from then, it's just A&J back again, so that's what we doing.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, so,
history. And then, again, I want to give a shout out to y'all, because, when I was little, and I'm going to the rink, I'm seeing Miltown rollers ride past. I'm like, I want to be like them. So, I'm tiny up jumping behind y'all lines the whole rink, try to do the little steps and stuff. But one thing I can say about y'all always been super cool. Even when I didn't know y'all personally, because that didn't happen until after I came back from college and started going a lot as an adult. But when I was little, I go to the rink and see y'all, and I would come and talk to y'all, and y'all was always cool.
Right.
Because it was a couple dudes at the rink, some older dudes, and you try to ask them to do a move, or you try to stay higher. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, look at you crazy, like get out my face, little dude, all type of stuff. But y'all always show mad love, so it's dope to be able to skate next to y'all and see y'all still that same person from back then.
Man, it's love, man. One thing that we build everything off of is humbleness. I know a lot of people see a lot of things about the skate jam, the battle that's coming up this weekend. It's mad love, Tay. For people that don't know, man. Shout out to Tay, Demon Child, or whatever he want to call himself. I'ma shred you on Saturday. But one thing about us is that it's all love. People that don't know Tay and from different states, because I had so many different people call me, inbox me like, "Yo, what's going on in the city?" I'm like, "That's my little bro. We good." It's just good for the skate world, you know what I'm saying, here in the city. So a lot of people from the outside looking in, that is my little brother, we 100. He actually been here at my house. We were just together. So, but sometimes you got to spank little brother's ass. So that's just what it is. But outside of that, though, humbly speaking, our team has always been humble. We didn't have, I do remember when all the skate team, it was like 16 different skate teams in Butler, like, you know what I'm saying? And
16, that's wild.
It was a lot. People didn't want, you couldn't skate with this person, you couldn't skate with this person, and we like, what? Like, no. We gonna skate with whoever we want to skate with, and that's how we always been, as you know, coming up.
Right.
And that's how we are now. You come up to me, Mano, Mako, Jamel, Tamika, Whitney, anybody, Romario, I want to learn this. We got you. And that's just how we are. Humbleness is everything. If you wasn't humble, you wasn't with us.
Right.
And that's just what it is.
So how do you feel that skating has made you a better person over the years? Just being involved in the skate community, traveling to different events. What have you learned, or what has helped you grow?
What helped me grow is having something to belong to. I don't think that if I didn't have skating to belong to, I probably would be a menace or dead or somewhere, because the path I was at, and the path that I was going, most definitely wasn't a wall. How would I say? It wasn't a great path. Okay?
Right.
So once you have something that you belong to, you want to make sure that you can continue to do that.
Right.
So that means that you have to measure and modify certain things that you do in life in order to continue to do what you love to do.
Right.
Okay, it's just like a professional basketball player. Would you do anything to jeopardize to take you away from something you love? So that's how skating and what skating was for me. It was a platform to make sure I stayed on the right track. Now that I'm at where I'm at now, and skating's at another high peak, to sit back to see the body of work that we have accomplished and sticking around for it, and it's an accomplishment for me. So.
Not trying to put nobody personal business out, expose nothing like that.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
do you got any funny or crazy skate stories from being on the road?
Yeah. I got two major ones. We got this thing called when we was on the road, we used to travel all the time. It's like when I say travel, it's like 20. Our original members was like 25 of Miltown Rollers. When I say 17, still actively skating now.
Right.
Originally it's 25.
I'm gonna get some of the footage.
Yeah,
I know where some of it at. So
and I got some footage too. But we got this thing called no bathroom stop. All right. So that means you had a lot of shitty booty people that had to shit all the time while we was on the road. So what we would do, shout out to Brandon, Brandon
Shout out
MTR, shout out B, Jamel. But this is one of the stories we just come back from St. Louis and again, no bathroom stop. So you could take a number one, but number two was just you take number two, we recording, you blasting, you putting it on Facebook, whatever, right? And so we all was at Applebee's, and so everybody had to take a number two, right? But we was holding it like, nah, we good, because we couldn't hit no stalls because people was gonna put the phone and stuff like that. So we sitting at Applebee's. And so everybody ordering their food. I'm like, yeah, man, we had a good trip, man. I said, I can't wait to get home. I got to go shit. And then, like, yes. And then I looked at Mayno. I said, Mayno, yeah. I looked around, I see D-Mac. I see Mika. I said, hold on, shit. I said, where Jamel at? And so we look out the window. We see Jamel running across the parking lot to Walmart. And so we all just pick up and run. When I say it was me, Rome, Brandon, and we take off running out of Applebee's. And they look like, y'all ain't gonna pay. And we took off running. So just picture this the parking lot, Jamel running across, and it's like 15 people chasing them. So when we get into Walmart, we look like, where you at? Where you at? They're like, where's your bathroom? Where's your bathroom? They're like, what's wrong? We're like, where's your bathroom? And they was like, over there. So Jamel, we go in the bathroom, we like, should we get our phones and shit out? And you see Jamel's feet just sitting there like this. And so he then took off all his clothes, folded them up, put them right here, and just naked on the toilet. And so we all got the cameras and stuff. And we're like, no, what you doing? And so he get up naked trying to grab the clothes and stuff. So we got all that on film, man. It's crazy, man.
Oh,
so
man.
that was one of the stories that went down in history, man. We used to always have fun on the road for sure. It was a good time, though.
That is
always.
nuts, man.
Yeah, it's always a good time. So, yeah, shitty booty.
Y'all, wow.
Yeah.
Man. Speaking of, the couple little events I went to, when people say, where you from? And I say Milwaukee, they always bring y'all up. So y'all for sure left an impact when y'all was out there traveling, doing y'all thing and stuff like that. And then even on YouTube, the comments would be like, oh man, Milwaukee used to put on the best show. We miss when they used to come out here deep.
Shout outs. Our first showcase was at St. Louis, Skills on Wheels. Shout out back in 2012. That's when we shut the whole city down, and it was just like, yo, who the fuck is Milwaukee again? And then,
Sure it was 12? Was it earlier than that?
No, it was earlier than that.
It was like the 2000s.
It was 2000. No, the first time we shut it down and it was on camera is when John Legend, Best You Ever Had came out. So whatever year that song came out, that's the year I think it had to be like, I had to be 9 or 10 then. It had to be 10. 9 or 10. When we shut it down. And from there, each year after that, people was like, okay, Miltown coming, what they gonna come with? So we always had a theme on roll call and all this stuff. So
we need to bring that back, man.
Yeah, we just gotta find the city. What city everybody? A lot of people going to Atlanta this year, but
but they ain't gonna learn something that quick.
No, they're not gonna learn nothing that quick. We actually gonna be linked in with Shy Walkie. We that's our brothers now, so we gonna figure out something to do with them. Because we all together when we hit that road with them.
Okay.
But but the next trip is probably, I think it's like Detroit or something like that. I'm not for sure. But something that's driving distance that everybody can get to. We can sit back at the rink and figure something out. And I don't want to tell too much so people get some ideas and stuff of what we're doing. But we'll most definitely come with it. Because again, the bug is out. Everybody is hungry again. So it's just like, what's next?
Yeah.
So and that's where we at.
So, with you being a DJ now, I know it's a lot of people, the energy picking back up in the rink and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So what's the drawback to being a DJ now?
Not being able to skate like I want to. It's I go through skating withdrawals. Like I be in the booth like just this past Sunday, and I'm watching y'all skating. I'm up there like,
Man.
I'm up there doing moves and boo.
Hey, I saw a video of you up there dancing one time.
People think I'm crazy. I'm like, hey, like, and I have to create to keep my mind because I'm a skater before I'm a DJ.
Right.
But I'm a great DJ because I know what y'all want to hear as a skater.
Man, if I was you, I'd put a playlist on and slide
Man.
right on the floor
Hey,
for
listen,
2 or 3
but
songs.
I used to do that, but in order to perform your craft the right way, you have to be 100%
Gotta be
attendance
locked
to
in.
what you guys are doing. Like if I see like 10 or 7 people come around with a frown on their face or confused look, it's like, okay, it's time to switch it up. Let me try this. So you always got to be attentive to the crowd when you DJing.
Dude, that gotta be exhausting.
Yeah,
You gotta be on it from start to finish.
From start to finish. That's why I said DJing at a skating rink. I could DJ at a club with my eyes closed. That's nothing because I was trained in the skating rink. But DJing at a skating rink, you got to keep everybody on the floor. You got one job. And there's no liquor involved in that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's sober minds.
In a club, it don't matter what
In a
you put
club,
on,
it don't
really.
matter
If
what
you got a
you
little
play.
bass,
They got a
it's-
bass,
it's
they can
whatever.
twerk, they can do this to it. They cool. But at the rink, we there for one thing and one thing only.
Right, you gotta make people dance essentially for 4 hours straight.
4 hours straight, you got to keep them on the floor. You got to play the music that's going to put them in a place like, man. And that's what it's about. So, yeah.
Leaving a legacy with skating, what do you want to leave to the younger generation?
What I would want to leave to them is if you need a foundation, if you need something you can chase, something you can see, something that you can nurture, something that you belong to that will keep you away from anything else, I would tell them to get adapted to skating. And when you do get adapted to skating, learn how to be original with skating. And the reason why I say originality to skating, being original to skating, because it's the creative mind. Skating is not just, oh, I'm going to go there every Sunday, listen to some music, see some beautiful women. It's therapy for a lot of people. It's church. It's sanctuary.
And not to cut you off, but I think that's what a lot of people realize. So people came back once or twice, and that's what kept them coming back, because they realized it's exactly that. It's therapy.
It's therapy. But it's just like whatever you're going through from Monday to Saturday, when Sunday comes, you leave everything out on the floor.
Facts.
Leave everything out at the rink. You be original to the craft of what you created, it would never go nowhere. But if you're doing it for the wrong reason, you won't get that effect of what skating does for you. It's therapy. It's like yoga. When we leave that rink, shirt wet, mind clear,
Body sore.
that sets us up for our week. By the time Wednesday, Thursday come, like, okay, it's time to get that dose again.
Right, it's like a drug.
It's a drug, but it's a great drug because not only if it is mentally there for you, physically as well. Keep you in shape. Keep your bones together. Meeting and networking with different people, you'll be amazed with skating how the culture of diversity that it brings together. It's just a beautiful thing. So if my legacy would, when it's all said and done and I'm done, one thing that I hope that everyone gets that's coming up behind me is originality. And do it because you love it. And that's it.
Originality is something you harp on when it comes to not just skating, but expressing yourself in general.
In general, yeah.
But who are some skaters that you see that are very original, whether it be the old school skaters, people you saw on the national skate scene, young guys coming up? Like, who did you see that you was like, oh, I like that person is their own skater?
I'm going to tell you a couple people. A lot of my people come from out of Chicago. I got a couple people from out of Memphis. So a couple people out of Chicago that I look to, when I used to go there, I'm like, man, I need to get right there. Was Tito, most definitely Randy, Suave, um, BB, this guy named Chris that used to go skating. Um, I may be mention name people like who the hell are these people, but these are people that I watch. Okay.
And you said that is that group from Chicago?
Yeah,
All of
these
those
groups.
people?
Yeah, these groups is from Chicago. Like Suave was part of the Suicide Squad.
He DJ now, right?
mm,
Is that the DJ
That's
Suave?
not the DJ,
Oh,
but no,
okay.
it's a skater Suave.
Oh.
Pooh, the Twin Towers, Tim. Them are the people. Like I'm naming these names. This new generation probably like, who the hell is that? But these are the name of the people when we went to Chicago, which just was like, and they showed us mad love. JBX, JB Elite, CMW. All these names of people that I'm naming were people that when we went to Chicago, we were like, yo, they with the shits. Like, no bullshit. Like they get down and they do it so effortlessly because of the love. You know what I'm saying? Meredith, Aaron, like all them people over there. So, Lucky out in Memphis. Outside of Jerry King, shout out to Jerry King, one of my OGs here, DOG. One of my OGs here, he taught me my bounce. So when you see me bouncing, I got that from my OG here, Candyman.
Candyman, cold.
Candyman and Candyman and Jay skate together, and that's where I got my bounce from. The slow motion walk and stuff like that, I got it from Lucky from Memphis. And shout out to Lucky if you ever see this. So it's so much. So it's from everywhere. So that's why my style is so universal because it's not just here, it's everywhere. Yeah.
Lucky, is he the one that throw the skate party down there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dark skin,
I
look
know
like
he was
Boosie.
cold like
He
that.
look like Boosie. Yeah, he got this. If you ever catch me doing this, like it's a walk on the wall. Like I got that from Lucky. You know what I'm saying? I just improvised it into my own style.
Yeah.
But that walk, the whole slow walk on the wall, looking back, I got that from Lucky.
Cause I ran into him when I was down there.
Yeah, he cool.
When he was advertising his event. Yeah, his skates was fire too.
Yeah.
But I ain't really see him at the event like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's so packed and you might only be there a couple hours because you kicking it in the city.
Man. Yeah. So them was my uplawns, the people that I watched and stuff like that. And of course, Dennis and Eric here in the city, like they were before me. You know what I'm saying? They was some of my OGs that brought me in. As you guys can see, I'm 100% connected to the generation of OGs and paving the way. Always give homage to them, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't be who I am without them. Like, you know,
shout out to E. Lee, man. He done taught me a lot. And Dennis, he was just telling me about a move he created. Speaking of, you know when somebody be down on, like on a toe stop on one leg and they going in a circle, the other leg is kind of outside. Yeah, he was the one that created doing it backwards. Like that's wild.
Yeah. And again, like when people ask about that move, because he was the first one that displayed that move. You know what I'm saying? But again, a lot of people don't take the time to know the history. It's an art.
Right.
Skating it's just like this picture. This picture's an art. I created this picture.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? And when you look, that's what I went to school for. So when you look at, and again, I went to school for art and dance. And I didn't go to school because it was like, I want to go because I want a profession in that when I get out of school. No, I went to school for art and dance on my own leisure to learn about life and how everyone is
I thought you were about to say you went for the refund check.
It was a refund check. I ain't qualified for that though.
Man, I know so many people that went for 1 or 2 semesters for the refund check and then
I remember that. That was afterwards. I was done. I'm like, dog, what?
Right.
But what happens is, as you even came in, I was listening to rock music, pop music. I listen to all genres of music because what people don't understand is that's one thing. I can hate you. You can be Hitler, and I can be Obama or Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, right? It's probably one song that connects us. It's probably one picture that connects us as well. And that one connection, it only takes that one time. And that's what life is about, the connection. So when I went to school to learn more about culture and connections. And culture and connections is connected through art and music. So when I came back home and was continuing skating, you see the connection. They got the music part of it, the connection. So it's art.
Yeah. And the dopest thing about like your generation and Dennis and their generation about creating like certain moves and things like that and styles and all these like monumental events that happened while y'all was skating. It's not like it was 100 years ago.
It's not.
Like it was recent.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you 50 years old. It's not like Dennis is 100 years old.
Right.
Like he was creating moves and I'm doing these moves and it's like I can talk to the person that was the first person to ever do that. Yeah.
He's right there.
Yeah, that's dope.
And it's just like, shout out to my boy Tay, Demon Child. We did something and I posted on Facebook. I think you seen it. I was telling him that the moves that you're doing now was already done. I did them already. And I showed him a video that was 15 years old. And everything you're doing, I'm doing it. Your footwork is the same as mine, but I'm doing this 15 years ago. It's skating is a recycle. It's just what you do to make it different. So just to be able to be here to still talk to Dennis and Suave and all these people, it's a blessing because it's a lot of people that's gone.
You can touch history.
You can
be able to talk to the Calvins and you know what I'm
Calvins
saying. I need to get to interview him.
Yeah, Calvin. He got that man got a lot of knowledge from the skate world to outside the skate world. I never personally sat down and politic with him like that long, but Dennis most definitely have. And just listening to Calvin talking, when he was talking to Dennis, he got a lot of gems and in the skate world for sure.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And then just to switch it up a little bit. So I was talking to Mano and he was telling me how y'all was getting so popular, not just in Milwaukee but around the country and stuff. But he was talking about y'all so popular that y'all was going to malls and was getting chased around the mall and out the mall and all type of crazy stuff. People like, oh, that's them, and take off running, trying to come up to y'all. Like
it's crazy. It was crazy. We had so many different events. Even an event that when we was out of town was at the Waffle House, and it's crazy. We was all at the Waffle House. We was standing outside the Waffle House, and it's a dump truck that drive by, and he like, hello. So we look like, yo, we not from here. Like, what the fuck going on? So we all geared up, ready to go. Code, like, right, so he dropped the code, like, hello. So we all sitting outside like, man, so we aggressively like, yo. And he swing back around. We not know what's going on. He jump out like, man, what's up, man? I heard y'all was going to be in the city, man. What's going on, Angelo, man? I'm like, I'm looking at him like, bro, I'm not from here. You should got yeah, you was here last week. Y'all Miltown roller. Like, dang. And I'm like, we embrace him and stuff like that. It was so many times me and Mano, when we go out of town, we'll go to the mall and stuff. People like, y'all, and this is before YouTube and all that stuff.
Right, that's the crazy part about it. This is before all the big social media stuff happened.
So for them to know who we were, they were holding on to that. You know what I'm saying? It was, you couldn't just go find us on Backpage or Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat. It was when you seen us, you seen us.
Right.
We had side 2 ways and all that type of stuff, but you couldn't see us. So when we were there like, yo, what up? And it was just like, it was crazy. We have videos of like we going out, entourage following us. It was nuts, man. Even went to the point of when we was going on skating trips, we'll go out that Friday and then skate that Saturday. And we have the whole hotel go out with us that Friday. And then we'll skate Saturday. So it's crazy.
So y'all will go out the Friday before the event and be politicking in the hotel, having everybody go out with y'all?
Yeah, Fridays, like we have so many footage. Friday was, we going out. We not skating Friday.
Right.
So everybody like, y'all not skating? Like, no, we going out. So people be like, well, we going out with y'all. It was literally times that we was so up the whole back of the club. Me, Jamel, D-Mac, Mano, just all MTR. And then other cities to go with us too. So it started to get to a thing like, yo, okay, we here to skate, but we fuck with y'all. Like, y'all party. Like,
y'all know how to have fun.
Y'all know how to have fun. I'm like, yeah, we don't get to see each other. Let's go out Friday, and we'll go skate Saturday. And that's what we did, and that was our ritual every time we went out. The theme, hey, we wearing this is the theme. So it's crazy to see.
We definitely bringing that back.
Yeah, we most definitely. We going to Atlanta next week. We going out Friday. So, and then we, gonna skate Saturday, and then we skate Sunday, the regular session. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's just showing love, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, like, when we in Atlanta, We let them know, like, hey, we from Milwaukee, but we here to party, see what's going on. This is skate family, like skate family. So people like, what y'all do there? So it's growing the community as well, because there's a lot of people in Atlanta that don't know about skating, just like it is here in Milwaukee.
Right.
So
did y'all ever party too hard and miss skating the next day? Like oversleep or something crazy?
Cass did. Cass.
Shout out to Cass, man.
Shout out to Cass, man. That's one of our members as well, man. Cass most definitely did. He went.
Hey, not just him though. Romero did too.
Romero did. Yeah, recently. Yeah, recently. Yeah, man. They knuckleheads, man. But Cass said, I'm gonna take a nap, and he woke up like, look, why you ain't call me? Oh, well, I'm supposed to stop skating and call you to see where you at? Like, what? Like, no, bro. I thought you were here. Thousands of people in the ring. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
because you might come with somebody and not see them for hours at a time.
If you're not looking for them.
Man, I'll be looking for them and can't find them. Because I'll travel with the people I'm with, and when it's about time to go where I'm looking to get something, I'm like, yo, where's so-and-so at? Yeah. And I'll be looking through the whole ring. I go from front to back, can't find them. Next thing you know, I chill, and then I see them in the distance 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I thought they didn't left me or something.
Nah, man, it be thick, man. It be thick. But yeah, Cass,
sure.
most definitely, he's known for that. Cass.
That's funny. Yeah. Out of all the people, I could picture being him too.
Cass, yeah, he light skinned. Bro, light skinned.
Oh man,
for real, he light skinned, man. It's Cass.
Man. People was telling me it was no sleep weekends.
It's never sleep, bro. We get up. There's one thing about, and then it's like when we get up when we out of town. If you go to Atlanta with us, next week, you will see from the sunrise we get up, we always doing something. And it's a group of us. We'll go eat somewhere at the popular place. Go as a group, turn it out. Go do this, go do that. Go to their venue because they always got things to do throughout the day and stuff like that. So it's non-sleep, just straight.
Man,
enjoying it, you know what I'm saying?
They like get down there Friday, skate Friday morning, go out Friday night, then go eat, then go back and chill to skate Saturday night, then go out to eat. Like,
it's dope, man. It's non-stop. By the time you get on that flight on the way home, you're like, yeah, I'm tired.
Right.
I'm tired. You better take off that Monday. I'm telling you.
People chill on the weekend, or you gotta chill during the week when you get back because you was turned up.
Bro. It's most definitely a good time for sure, though. For sure.
So, earlier you said something about networking. How has your skate network helped you in your life?
Man, it helped in so many ways. I was starting when I was younger, when I was even in high school skating, from middle school, elementary to middle school to high school. Everybody knew me as the skater and stuff like that. As I started to get older, we started to use this. And shout out to Joseph Woodland. You know Joe, right?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I seen him today, and he didn't see me though at the mall.
Yeah. And what happened with that, when we met Joseph, we actually started to go a little bit deeper with skating and Joseph created Skaters Are Us. And he hired us as instructors, and he actually got a MPS school contract with the MPS school for us to teach skating and workshops and healthy living.
Dope.
And so we did that for a solid 2.5, 3 years.
We should bring that back.
Yeah, Joseph most definitely, and he still got the stuff. You might want to interview him in reference to that, but. That run was the most positive thing in reference to what we were doing as for the community, because it was huge. They started to implement it in schools. I'm talking about, I would leave my job at 11 o'clock a.m. to go teach skating and healthy nutrition of how to live life. You see what I'm saying? So it started to be a business.
Right.
And so outside the business, it started to turn into shows, and we did the Derby Girl shows and the Milwaukee... what they go in the circle, beating each other up. What's that? What they?
Is it the Brew City?
Brew City, yeah. We did their shows, halftime shows, and we started. Me and Mano, we did holiday picnics and Miltown rollers. We did. It's so many things that orchestrated to allow us to do, and it just was beautiful. It took off from there. So it started to become a business of entertainment.
That's dope.
Yeah. So
Y'all was before y'all time, low key.
yeah, we
Cause
were
y'all
like,
could have been on ABDC and all
yeah,
type of crazy
it's crazy
shows.
because the American Best Dance Crew, all that stuff. Them people from Waukesha, we killed them all the time.
Yeah, I meant to say
Yeah,
that.
we
The
killed
dudes on there,
them.
I'm like, yo, they look familiar.
Yes,
Like, I seen them before.
it's so many. We killed them. We used to meet them. The Waukesha was their stomping ground.
Right.
And sometimes they'll come out to Cedarburg. When they come out to Cedarburg, we'll battle them, kill them. You know what I'm saying? But we're cool with them. You know, at the same time. So when we seen them on American Best Dance Group, me and Mena looked at each other like,
man,
come on, man. Oh,
right.
Come on, bro. Like,
Right.
waiting on that. But then that's when Atlanta ATL dropped and Roll Bounce was like, okay. Cool.
Man, y'all should have been in some of these movies.
Well, you know, Roll Bounce the casting for that. We were like extras and being there and stuff like that. So we most definitely was there. Tito, D Breeze. There's a lot of people that did.
Matter of fact, I heard Candyman was in there.
Candyman
somewhere.
was right at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta watch it again to see it.
Yeah, he was doing that. He at the beginning. You can't miss him, bro.
Yeah.
I promise you can't miss him, man.
But since I gotten to know him, I haven't seen a movie. I've seen a movie a million times.
But now it's like,
yeah, so
it's
now
right
like,
at the
I gotta
beginning.
watch it
It's
to,
right
to
at the
find him
beginning.
in there.
Yeah, you be like, big ol' Candyman. Shout out to Candyman, man. Shout out.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so mad love. Mad love.
Yeah. And it's kind of unrelated, but it's kind of dope to see, like Josh and Natasha and Calvin go on like AGT and do stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Like Josh and Natasha and Calvin, like again, that it just opened up the door for so much and so much
Right.
other things. Like to see that is dope. Even been on the movie festival when we all went to the theaters to see what was it, Skate.
Oh yeah.
State of Mind, not State of Mind.
United States of America.
United States of America, something like that, or whatever.
Yeah.
To see that and to see everybody come together for that, it's just dope. So it's not just here in the city; it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Even shout out to you. Hey, if y'all don't know, we got a Spike Lee in the making. We got something coming real soon from Skate Fam. So
Man,
y'all gonna get familiar
Appreciate
with this real soon. So.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Trying to expand on the content, bring different aspect of it, get to know the skaters, because everybody want to get to know them personally. It's the avenue to do it.
It is, man, and we do a good job in keeping our lives private, even though it's so much social media
Right.
out there and stuff like that. With me and Mano and our team made a pact that you would know of us, but you won't know us. In order to know us, you have to know us. You know what I'm saying? So you can see us on videos and YouTubes and stuff like that. Like, oh, they seem cool. But if you see us, come know us.
Right.
Because once you know us, you know us. We here. You know what I'm saying? But we don't put too much out there in reference to the negative energy and all the other stuff people may get wrapped up in.
Right. Big ups to y'all for that.
Hey, shout
Y'all
out.
definitely bring that positivity.
We try to.
So, on that note, we're going to wrap it up there. If you got anything you want to finish with.
I do want to take the time to shout you out. We've been chasing each other, bumping heads and losing each other for I don't know how long.
Playing phone tag like a mug.
And everything else, but we here now. So shout out to you, man, and thanks for coming through. Even wanting to interview us, foreverly, humbly appreciate it.
Next time we got to get the other members of MTR to do it, man.
They're scared of a little snow, like they haven't lived the Milwaukee life, but it's cool. I'm here, so get them next time. So yeah, for sure.
I appreciate you.
We thank you,
bro.
man, and shout out to Skate Fam
It's
and
a legend right here. Just dropped some
MKE.
history on y'all.
Hey man, I appreciate it. I see y'all on the wood real soon.
Do it again.